Tired of getting ghosted? 60-second chat trick gets average Joes endless dates with 9s and 10s on Tinder, Bumble, and more. The lazy guy's method for texting on any dating app. Scientifically proven. Are you spending hours on dating apps like Tinder and Bumble? Trying to get matched, set up dates, and needing to get laid? Tonight. But your closing rates are lower than this guy. What if I told you I can help you get over 2,500 matches on your dating apps in just a few short months? Wouldn't you want to know how I predictably do it? And what if I could show you how to close 7 out of 10 of your matches? Wouldn't you want these easily repeatable text strategies so you can finally start hooking up just hours from now? No more pathetic nights, endlessly swiping right, and getting virtually zero matches. And no more texting back and forth for hours or even weeks about stuff like, "So, what are you into?" only to just get ghosted. I figured out a texting method that virtually guarantees women won't ghost you or waste your time. You'll be able to close dates with women who are certified 10 out of 10s, just as easily as you could close a 4 out of 5. You could be anywhere on the planet with internet access and have a woman in your bed that same night. This lazy guy's approach is a scientifically proven, time-slashing chatting technique that gets women blowing up your dating apps like clockwork. I'll even show you how one beautiful woman and I had an amazing year of love using this brand new 60-second texting method. The best part is, you don't need any pickup experience. You don't need to spend hundreds or even thousands on mentoring. You don't need to spend your next 5 paychecks on new clothes and upgrading your image either. And just to make sure you're equipped to turn things around, starting tonight, I'm going to show you 3 tips to use in your profile that are guaranteed to increase your matches 100 times. If you aren't currently getting matches, these 3 tips alone are worth a few minutes of your time. But it's what you do with those matches that matters. Whether you like it or not, you only have 60 seconds to trigger a woman's chase mechanism. Or you're pretty much wasting your time trying to convince yourself she could still text back. She won't. See, if you can't predictably trigger her primal chase mechanism, you won't be the guy she hooks up with tonight. Even worse, it's the kind of guy you despise, a douchebag to the core, who gets to defile the kind of woman you can only masturbate to. They're 100% out of your reach when you're competing with the top 1% of guys who know how to consistently get laid using dating apps. The good news is, getting swiped, closing dates, and getting laid all in the same day isn't rocket science. The lazy guy's dating method is based on incredible but simple psychology that any guy can easily use. It triggers the part of her brain that makes her hyper-focus on you, and only you, making those other guys look like the idiots they are. This 60-second trick is so effective that in the last few months, it's already quickly turned the tables on male-female dynamics, shifting the power of ultimate seduction into the palm of your hand. Jeff R. from Tampa, Florida said, "I got maybe 2 or 3 matches a week, but they were always the girls I swiped out of desperation. After just 2 days of testing your tips for myself, I ended up having dinner with a petite Latina honey with the most amazing ass I've ever seen. She lived a few blocks away, invited me up for a couple drinks, and initiated taking me to her bedroom. I'm still buzzing. Thanks, Andre." Just like Jeff, you either become a part of the top 1% of guys who use this online dating code for getting matches, getting dates, and getting laid, or you're alone with just your hand every night, which you're probably sick of by now. Since I discovered this trick, I've been on hundreds of dates with stunning women of every shape, size, and ethnicity this planet has to offer. And believe me, the options are delicious. If that sounds like it's expensive, it's not. I did it all on a shoestring budget, and without changing a thing about myself. I'm just a normal dude. I'm not rich. I'm not actually tricking women, even though I call this my 60-second dating app trick. I'm not God's gift to women, like those guys who roll up in their Porsche, chiseled abs, rock star looks, or any of that. Yet, wherever I travel, anywhere in the world, I'm able to match and be on a date with a woman that night, after only chatting for an hour or less. I do it without lying, without gaming, and without spending hours of time I don't have studying bogus dating systems that never actually work. No wasting gobs of money at clubs or bars, trying to awkwardly strike up a conversation with a girl you know is out of your league, and probably won't give you the time of day. In fact, get this, only about 1 out of 10 guys have ever approached a woman in public. And right now, during this 2020 worldwide shutdown, bars, restaurants, and coffee houses are either closed or require masks. Plus, with social distancing issues, bars and restaurants aren't set up for single guys to meet women. I'm sorry, but you're not going to get any dates, much less get laid, much less have a shot of meeting that one chick who really gets under your skin with the current global issues. Right now is the best time to learn how to attract any woman from the comfort of your own home. That's one more reason you're watching this. Now, I've spent thousands of dollars on dating programs, including getting mentored by a few top, well-known pickup coaches. The cost of getting mentored alone was over $10,000. But these programs and mentors never once actually got me laid, or made my dating app profiles any more appealing to women. Instead, it was during my travels, which I'll talk about in a minute, that I finally decoded how to get swiped right like crazy, and got more dating options for just one night than I used to get in an entire year. Without this easy button online dating strategy, women will keep ghosting you faster than you can text, "So what are you into?" I'll break it all down here today for you, including my 3 bonus tips for getting matches on any dating app. But first, there's a huge reason only the top 1% of guys get the most attractive women. You see, dating apps have way more men than women. Yeah, sure, every area is different. But all things considered equal, there are way more horny guys trying to get laid than there are women who will let you into their most private parts. In June of 2020, Bumble stats look like this. And Tinder's about the same. That's a difference of 44%. I always knew the numbers were probably lopsided, but not 44 effing percent. It's funny, too. Being the curious guy I am, I always asked women, "What made you want to hook up with me?" What shocked me is, I can't even begin to tell you how many of them said something along the lines of, "I never actually intended on meeting someone, never mind sleeping with them." So why were they on dating apps? Sorry to tell you, but it's just for the attention. Yep, they have zero real interest in hooking up because, well, they're women. They can show up at pretty much any bar and take a guy home anytime they want if they get the urge for some strange. On the flip side, not many guys can say they can walk into any bar, pick up a woman, take her home, give her the night of her life, and keep a straight face. Good news is, online dating is different when you use my system. You can have the same power that beautiful women have. I'm talking about power to meet the kind of girls I hook up with on a weekly basis. Girls like this, and this, and like these 2 examples of your last wet dream. So, my question to you right now is, are you ready? Hey, I'm Andre Ramos. And don't trip. I used to feel like a fool for pretending I had a shot at girls like the ones I just showed you. But those fears don't exist anymore for me. They won't for you either. When you know exactly what to text and why, your words will take on a whole new seductive, hypnotic meaning. But before I share what this lazy guy's chat method is, let me quickly explain how I discovered the primal part of women's brains when I traveled around the world, and the easy science that helped me put all the pieces together. In the beginning, my biggest problem was time. I was only in one place for a couple days. So if I didn't go on a date within the first day or 2, nothing was going to happen. I knew I had to accomplish 2 things. If I was ever going to go on a date, I needed to stand out from the better-looking guys. I needed to create text magnetism in 60 seconds. When I solved these 2 critical problems, the rejections, ghosting, and no-shows stopped, literally overnight. That said, men and women aren't so different. We all get horny, love sex, and want to explore with someone adventurous, and love orgasming. The question every man wants to know is, how do I get her to chase me, starting from my first text? Here's the answer. Men and women have the same chase mechanism. This is the part of the brain that makes human beings chemically addicted to each other. When you know how to activate her chase mechanism, she'll crave more and more. It honestly doesn't matter who accesses this part of the brain. The science is the same. Now, here's what I mean. Everyone runs on chemicals. You do. I do. And women definitely do. We're all basically drug addicts to our happy chemicals. Constantly looking for our next bump. Oxytocin, endorphins, serotonin. But it's the pleasure and reward chemical that makes most of our decisions for us, aka the chase mechanism. That's dopamine. Dopamine is why most 9s and 10s are on dating apps. Every match they get is another rush. Dopamine is why women obsess over some men and not others, because these guys have that magic bling that attracts hot girls like flies to a light. Dopamine is why women seek out and appreciate compliments. Even likes on social media with pictures of them just chilling with a friend. It gives them the validation of, yeah, I know I'm hot shit, but thanks for confirming it. So it should come as no surprise that dopamine is what your very first text must trigger when you match with a woman. Don't believe me? This dopamine chase mechanism is what gave Mark Zuckerberg the idea for Facebook, which makes a few $1 billion per year, by the way. Old Zuckerberg realized the same thing I did. People, men and women, will do anything to receive the attention and validation. Zuckerberg discovered this during a rat study he conducted at Harvard University, where the first version of Facebook was born. In this study, he gave a rat the choice between food and dopamine. Long story short, the rat died and Facebook was born. That's what makes this brain science so incredible. It's proven to be so effective that it works on any woman 100% of the time, including that one woman you want to have a relationship with. As I mentioned before, I had an amazing year with one woman while I was traveling in Asia. Here's a picture of us. During our first week together, she told me, I don't know what you did to me, but I feel like I'm addicted to you. I can't get enough of you, or your dick. I remember feeling all high and mighty, but also a little guilty. That's when I made a decision that could have destroyed us right from the beginning. I confessed about my 60-second chat trick and every little thing that makes it work. At first, she looked a little pissed off. I could see the wheels turning around in her mind. I was afraid of what might come out of her mouth. But then she surprised the hell out of me and said, that's actually kind of hot. I've never had a guy tell me exactly what he did to make me so fucking horny for him. We spent the next 3 days having the kind of sex I had only seen in online porn. She let me invade every part of her body. I couldn't get enough. In between having sex, we'd travel, drink cocktails on the beach, and check out other chicks together. Yeah, she was bi. Every once in a while, we'd invite a third woman into our bed for some erotic experimentation. She'd probably kill me for saying this, but it turned her on to watch me pleasure another woman. It was like, on the one hand, she was this sweet, innocent girl, then a switch would suddenly flip, and she became a total sub who loved it when I did everything I wanted to her. Talk about a year in paradise. Of course, all good things must come to an end. When I was ready to move on from Asia, she decided she couldn't come with me. I was heartbroken, but at the same time, I completely understood. We parted ways on very good terms. Our last night together was hands down the most debaucherous night of sex of my life. I've gone on to have tons more one-night stands, short flings, and different sexual experiences. But my year with her will always be a standout memory for me. Here's the thing. Every woman has her own vibe, likes, fetishes, and secret desires. You don't have to fall in love with the first hot woman who matches with you, or lets you do things to her that you've only imagined. With my 60-second chat trick, you'll have women willing to come over to your place at the click of a button. It's incredible to know you always have the option of matching, meeting, and being intimate with the women who are 100% major league women in every sense of the term. Now, when it comes to your dating app profiles, there are 3 things you gotta do to increase your matches and take a leap towards fulfilling whatever fetishes or fantasies you have. Number 1, never ever use selfies, especially mirror selfies, even more specifically, bathroom mirror selfies. I'll tell you what kind of pictures to use, and if you don't have them, how to easily get them. Number 2, negativity turns away more matches than you probably get. I'll tell you why. Number 3, the right words, descriptions, and questions matter in your bio. I'll debunk a few critical mistakes, as well as giving you a chat technique that's gotten me tons of matches, all on its own. Starting with number 1. Men take horrible selfies. If you have them on your dating profiles, delete them now. Instead, you should only have pictures that A, show you having fun with other people, like with your friends at the river. Just make sure you aren't only putting up group photos on your profile. Have your friends or family get some solo shots. You want to get shots that capture the exciting parts about you. It makes women imagine being there and having fun with you. That's a big part of online attraction. If you don't feel exciting, take the pictures away. Just to give you a few ideas, I've used pictures from bonfires, small parties, Vegas poolside, and just hanging out at the beach with a beer in my hand and a joint in my mouth. Quick sub-tip, if you've traveled in the last couple years, include 1 or 2 in your profile. Travel pics lead to more matches too. So if you have them, make sure and include them in your profile. B, Get a few shots of yourself with a woman, or women. And before you say, "Thanks, dude, if I get chicks to take pictures with me, do you honestly think I'd be here?" All right, relax. This is super easy. If you're friends with a woman, have someone take a picture of you two, or use an old one you already have. You can even use pictures of a past girlfriend or girlfriends. This helps hot women feel comfortable with seeing themselves with you. My clients have reported this one tip getting them up to 20 more matches per week. Forget women. Include a picture of you and your dog. Just like having pictures of you with women, a picture of you and your dog or a friend's dog is like instant trust. Once you get these pictures or shots selected, add them to your profile. This will instantly raise your stock 100% with hot women and get you on your way to more matches. C, get a really good headshot of yourself and use this as your first picture. From there, you're free to use group pics that show you being you. You don't want women to think they're swiping right on one of your friends, so using those pics first is like shooting yourself in the foot. These headshots don't have to be professional by any means. A good friend of mine took photography in college, and I hit him up for a little help. He took some really good shots of me, and even though I'm far from the best-looking guy, I was surprised by the amount of compliments I get from women. Now, the second tip is about the pictures you don't want to use, and descriptions you should never write in your bio. This is super important, because the top reasons women swipe left are plentiful. So things like pictures of your car, hunting trophies, talking about what you dislike in women, and sounding like you need a woman are all instant attraction killers. Instead, you want to sound open, curious, adventurous, and confident in yourself. Just not to the point of sounding egotistical. But the biggest part of this tip is no negativity or drama in your bio. The class and quality of women you're trying to match with will run away at the stench of negativity in your bio. I'm serious. This one thing can turn away at least 10 matches a week. Negativity in your bio tells women, "I'm drama. You should stay as far away from me as you can." That stops right now. You only want to talk about the things that you're passionate about in a way that isn't typical, which leads me to my third tip: how to make the very most out of your bio description. This is where you get to choose the ideas you're planting as seeds in women's minds. None of that "I'm looking for" stuff. Or "I'm into tennis, surfing, hiking, and romantic dinners." Those things don't trigger dopamine, like, at all. That kind of stuff, honestly, is just white noise. So, this strategy I'm trying to share lets you brag about your life in a playful, non-condescending way. This text strategy makes her curious about you, which is one of the most powerful methods to make her reach out and find out the truth. Because anticipation triggers dopamine. The stronger the anticipation, the more intense the desire to satisfy what activated the curiosity. What's effing cool is dopamine is also the reward part of her brain. Yours too. The chemical rushes are overwhelming when you use the right techniques. One of those techniques is called 2 truths and a lie. It's a simple chat trick that helps you quickly change your dating app density. Literally starting tonight. I'm going to give you the basics right now. But at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my free guide on the one opening text that always leads to real-life dates. So make sure to stick around. Here are the 2 real-life examples of people I've personally coached. Yes, I've coached women too. For example, I might write 2 truths and a lie. I've traveled all over Africa, Europe, Asia, and the US. I'm an online entrepreneur. I ran with the bulls in Spain. And I once had dinner with President Obama. The lie being about Obama. Keep in mind, this strategy isn't about saying shit like, "I have a 12-inch dick, I made 27 women orgasm, and I graduated from Yale with honors." That just makes you look like a total poser, pushing her to run away. So embellish sparingly, and test lots of different versions. It might sound like work, but once you find the right 2 truth and a lie combination, it'll keep doing all the hard work for you. The example I gave you produced over 100 matches for me alone. That makes this chat strategy, and more like it, a lazy guy's dream. You can be a dork, nerd, geek, bookworm, fat, or super awkward, but those things don't matter. Not anymore. Not once you understand how to command dopamine. The lazy guy way. Now, once the woman you match with guesses the lie, rinse and repeat the same strategy again with a new 2 truths and a lie. You can slightly escalate each two truths with more and more intimate stuff once you've built a rapport. It usually takes me about 10 minutes to break through her "I'm a beautiful girl that every guy wants" facade. From there are simple and more advanced game plans for dopamine triggering that take your text chats into passionate, real-life sexual encounters. Again and again. And again. I put all these strategies together, and tons more, after testing and optimizing them over years of gallivanting around the world, with every type of woman imaginable. These aren't stupid magical phrases, but scientifically proven online dating strategies that tap into women's most primal desires, without ever coming across as a creep or being totally desperate, even if you are totally desperate. These strategies take virtually zero effort, just the willingness to try new things, and trust all the dots I've already connected for you. That's what makes this a predictable system to get matches, get dates, and getting laid. Or finding that one incredible woman that wants to worship you. It's called the Dating for Lazies Blueprint. I wrote this instantly downloadable ebook for guys who struggle to get matches and dates with those Instagram-type models who make you cream your pants. No complicated techniques, no ridiculous BS that embarrasses you, no getting led on, passed up, or ghosted, no endless swiping without matches, no matter where you're starting from. It all begins with having an arsenal of chat strategies that are proven to get results, no matter who uses them, like you, me, or Joe Blow. Like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would probably say, "It doesn't matter who uses Dating for Lazies. The results are always the same." So you'll never be at a loss for what to say in your chats as long as you follow these lazy guy strategies. In all, there are 5 dating chat strategies with lots of real-life examples from me, and thousands of regular guys who've been using the Dating for Lazies system since the worldwide lockdown started in early March. These 5 chat tricks are all you need to match with 9s and 10s. Just one of these secret strategies got me over 2,500 matches on Tinder alone. And like I said, I averaged 7 out of 10 closes. Do the math. But I'm not just going to show you my match-producing chat strategies. I'm also going to walk you through the process of how I put them together. Like the old saying goes, give a man a fish and you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you'll feed him for a lifetime. You'll be able to quickly start creating your own dopamine-triggering chat tricks, just like thousands of lazies who've gone on to join the top 1% of guys who dominate on dating apps. In Dating for Lazies, you'll get my complete step-by-step instructions for optimizing your dating profiles to quickly maximize your matches. I take all the guesswork out of your hands, as I reveal every little detail that you need to include in your bio, with tons of real-life copy and paste examples. I'm also going to give you my hot list of do-nots. This will cut down on 99% of the mistakes that make women swipe left. Next, I'm going to walk you through optimizing your Instagram profile. You'll get my complete blueprint for how to use the growing social media platform to get up to 50% more matches. Using Instagram with your dating app profiles adds substance and reality, and helps women instantly feel comfortable with you, and the idea of meeting you. It's like planting seeds in her brain that trigger dopamine, aka her chase mechanism, so she's 100 times more excited to chat. When you give women a sneak peek into your life, before she even matches with you, you have a better chance to hook her in those first 60 seconds, when you do match. From there, my chat scripts tell you exactly what to say, from your very first text until your very first in-person meeting, making it virtually impossible to mess things up. Just like Jason, who had 0 experience with women. I can't believe it. I've gone from never having a girlfriend to literally 4 dates a week with beautiful girls. You the man, Andreas? All you have to do is follow each strategy, and I guarantee those nights of endlessly swiping right with no results are over. Plus, remember, there's no actual work involved. Just follow the examples and instructions, verbatim, and as soon as tonight, you can have your first lazy guy date set up with a girl you think is out of your league. Again, it does not matter if you're fat, hairy, older, bald, still live with your parents, don't have a job, play video games all day, or have low self-esteem. It doesn't matter if hot chicks never give you the time of day in real life. The Dating for Lazies blueprint is for any man who's tired of watching other dudes add more numbers to their womanizing resume while you're left with just your hand. The beauty is, every step is totally predictable. from the very first text message to setting up your date, all in just an hour or less, on average. But you've got to be wondering, what do I do when I do get my first date set up? What do I need to get prepared? How do I keep her excited so she doesn't flake or bail? I got you covered. I'll tell you what to wear for different scenarios, what questions to ask so she's doing all the talking, how to subtly build a sexual tension and rapport, when to talk about yourself and what to say. I'll expose the 3 best lines to close the deal. I know how nerve-wracking it feels to wonder, will she be into me when we meet? So I created conversation sequences, like dating cliff notes, so you're never at a loss for what to say or do. No awkward silences, no sitting there while you watch or scroll Facebook in boredom, no beating yourself up for saying the wrong thing at the exact wrong time. Now, I've sold these text strategies for $197 and get it all day long. It would take you over a year to develop and test the strategies I've put together during my time traveling the world. I'm giving you the secret for getting those matches, but more importantly, turning those matches into lifelong memories. Just like I did, and just like thousands of lazy online daters have too. But I'm definitely not asking you to pay $197, even though it's 100% worth it. This is the single most effective way to meet beautiful women on any dating app, anywhere in the world. All of those other systems sell you their magical phrases, or make it seem like you need special skills to get the kind of matches, dates, and action I regularly enjoy. I've bought them all, and followed the directions to a T. But my results never changed. Dating for lazies is different. Each text strategy is based on simple but powerful psychology that any man can easily follow without ever feeling slimy and gamey. Unlike those stupid magical phrases and complicated systems, my chat secrets are how people actually talk. It's quite literally how you become a natural with women in the quickest way possible. You won't ever come across as being just another desperate, horny dude who'd pay good money for just one night with one of these girls. Instead, you're triggering the most primal part of her sexuality, where the need for intimacy completely eclipses her rational mind. In other words, these techniques turn you into the reward that'll satisfy her desires. You'll rapidly discover that women's dopamine response can be so intense. It kind of feels overwhelming how badly she wants to get under the sheets with you. I'm speaking from experience, and I'm far from being a ladies' man. And look, I know how hopeless it can seem when you're telling yourself, why would anyone choose me over all these better-looking, richer dudes? So, because I'm feeling generous, for today only, you can instantly download the Dating for Lazies guide for just $47. You'll have an entire 30 days to prove me right. That means tonight you can start matching, start dating, and start getting laid. I'll spell it out so there's no confusion. And if you aren't getting more matches, more dates, and more sexual experiences in the next 30 days with just a fraction of the effort, I'll refund 100% of your purchase. Absolutely no questions asked. I'm probably crazy for doing it, but I'm that confident Dating for Lazies will work for you. I have no problem taking all the risk with my industry-leading guarantee. Truth is, if this doesn't completely transform your dating destiny, I don't want a cent of your money. Period. End of story. I'm also going to throw in some powerful bonuses that I know you'll need. Firstly, one of the biggest problems with online dating is dealing with women who don't seem to show interest. So I'm going to arm you with my fail-safe strategies for finding out if she's a time waster, or simply isn't that interesting on text, and it's giving you mixed signals. You'll know how to spot the difference within minutes. This helps you only invest your time with women who follow the predictable sequences I've laid out in the Dating for Lazies guide. I'm also going to show you how to set up future dates, so your weeks are always full of potential sexual encounters with 9s and 10s. After all, not every beautiful woman is going to be available tonight. Of course, the further out a date is scheduled, the more likely it is she'll flake. So I'm providing you with the game plan to keep the anticipation building until you're sitting down together over drinks and dinner. This is something most of the other magical systems fail to mention. Now, I want you to imagine 2 different futures. The first version is where you keep doing what you're doing and hoping your results change. You know what that's called? Yep, insanity, or doing the same thing and expecting different results. How's that working for you? The second version is joining thousands of other average Joes who also used to think the beautiful women of Tinder and Bumble were out of their reach. They all discovered there's no such thing as a woman who's too beautiful, too in demand, or too popular for you to get her. Think about it. We're taught all kinds of BS as teenagers. Stuff like only certain guys can get certain girls. The jocks get the cheerleaders, the artsy guy gets the artsy girls. The stoners get, well, I guess whoever smokes with them. It's not true. None of it. There are literally zero limits on the kind of women you can have sexual and romantic encounters with when you understand how to predictively activate her chase mechanism by applying My Dating for Lazy's secret strategies. These secrets are waiting for you right now. One more thing. 2020 has changed the dating game for men and women worldwide. The whole shutdown, wearing masks, and social distancing stuff makes meeting women in public harder than ever. That's why online dating has become the way for singles to meet. That means your odds are better than mine, because back in the day, there weren't this many beautiful available women on dating apps. And get this, these rushes of women hitting Tinder and Bumble might include women you might already know in real life, women you've always wanted to have sex with. Now's your chance. And don't forget, your purchase is totally secured and guaranteed for 30 days. If everything I've talked about and more doesn't happen for you, I'll refund 100% of your order today. So click or tap on the button below, and I'll see you on the other side.